Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. It's Saturday, which usually is reserved just for 12 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but I decided I was going to put up a review of a brand new movie. I've had people ask me since I started the channel, will you review new releases? And I usually don't like to. I like to watch a movie more than once before I review it. That way you ingest more of it. I mean, there are some movies out there that, it's hard, it's almost impossible to review after the first viewing. Movies that, it took me a long time, like Pulp Fiction. I'm still learning things about Back to the Future, and I've seen that movie thousands of times. However, that being said, 2021's action comedy, The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. For those of you who aren't aware, which I'm sure there aren't many, James Gunn is obviously known for directing the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies for the Marvel franchise. He's an amazing director. And he hits, if not a home run, a bases clearing triple with this movie. It is an awesome action comedy. Is it a life-changing movie? No. But it is superior to its predecessor in most ways. I think that the performances he got out of his lead actors is phenomenal. So, speaking of lead actors, Joel Kinnaman is back as Rick Flag. Much more enjoyable in this movie. He doesn't take himself seriously in this movie, and that's what I appreciate. You enjoy his character. He's a more likable character. He's not stiff like in the 2016 version. You have Margot Robbie returning and killing it as usual as Harley Quinn. She is an amazing actress, and this role was custom made for her. I don't think there's any actress out there right now that could play this role as well as she has. This is her third appearance, I believe. Amazing. They brought back Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. However, it's not a very big role. No spoilers here. I wish they had done more with this character, because I think he's such an enjoyable character to love and to detest at the same time. They brought back Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. Again, her character is serious, but she brings more humor to it this time, and it really works. She's a very enjoyable character. That's basically the brunt of the original cast from the first movie. It's hard to tell. Is it a remake? Is it a reboot? Is it a sequel? It's hard to tell. I feel like it's a reimagining. You're bringing a lot of the characters back, but you're improving upon the foundation. So joining the cast coming back, you have Idris Elba, who is one of my favorite actors. I have been a huge fan of his since watching him in Rock and Rolla as Mumbles. He is an awesome actor. I have my fingers crossed that once Daniel Craig is finished with James Bond, that he at least gets one, maybe two performances as James Bond. I would be more than happy with a George Lansby one-off, just to say Idris Elba is James Bond. John Cena is hilarious. His character is meant to be serious, but it's so serious, it's funny. Some of his dialogue, is just a laugh out loud funny. And you see some of it in the trailer. In one of the trailers, he talks about how he would eat a beach full of dicks for peace, and how he would kill any amount of men, women, and children to achieve peace. It's hilarious. Him as Peacemaker was perfect casting. You bringing in Sylvester Stallone as a giant CGI shark, but it's hilarious because despite being a shark and having no, recognition that it's Sylvester Stallone, that voice is iconic. And you almost see him, hand, friend. It's hilarious. And he's such a likable character, despite the fact that he will eat you at a moment's notice. Those were all standout, performances coming into the franchise. A little bit upset with the casting of Pete Davidson and Michael Rooker, not in their casting, because they have some funny dialogue. However, they're in it for basically a blink of an eye. And when they advertised these movies, these were fairly, prominent actors in the trailers. And that always irks me a little bit, is when you give prominence to an actor and actress, let them have at least some screen time. They're in it for the blink of an eye. Funny in their time in it, but I wanted more. And that's one of the flaws of the movie. Not that there's many, but it's significant enough to where it hurts the score. So you collect all these people together, people in Shark rather, and they're ultimately faced with battling a giant 100-foot alien starfish. And it's hilarious because they can't beat it, but eventually, they come together, and they do, because it's the Suicide Squad. However, there are casualties. You won't hear who from me, but it's an enjoyable action flick. It's a very funny comedy, and that's what James Gunn does. Is James Gunn takes, movies that are in this big overarching, series of movies, whether it's the DC Universe or Marvel, where most of those movies take themselves too seriously. James Gunn brings comedy, brings levity, and he does it really well. And that being said, despite its, few flaws here and there, the comedy is great, the action is awesome. You get really stellar performances out of Cena, Robbie, Elba, and Kinnaman. 7-7. I think that's a fair score. Like I said, there are some flaws to it, but could that score change after seeing it multiple times? Probably. But I've been asked to do a new release several times. I will keep trying to do them as I see new movies. But no better way to start than with 2021's The Suicide Squad. 7.7, that's my score. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you already haven't. And I'll see you guys next time at the movies. Take care.